Alright guys, welcome to the Blind Wave Con.
Nope, you already fucked it up. We're 2 seconds into this thing, Shane.
Hey guys, crew of Blind Wave here, and welcome to our very first podcast.
Cardboard box.
No,
It should be the cardboard box.
it's not the
should be.
cardboard box.
It's like Snake.
It's
No.
such a good. Anything can be in the cardboard box. You never know what.
Anything.
It could even be a boat. You know what you always want one of those.
How big is this cardboard box of which you speak of, Aaron?
I mean, it could be. It's a lot bigger than you can imagine.
I can imagine quite a lot.
Change your name to Rattlesnake Games. How about that?
No.
I don't want to take all that.
No, I
but
don't want
do
the
like-
curse of Rattlesnake
I
Game.
do
I want
want
the cursed cardboard box.
Cardboard box is a good pop.
I like cardboard box, but people don't know what the hell cardboard box is. They know what Blind Wave is.
I'm gonna make a new one.
Blind Wave is power.
With his power.
I know what, Aaron. We need to cut all this stuff up, and I add it to the Bland Wave thing. Like I start a podcast, and I'm the cardboard box. You guys are like the mahogany box, and I'm like the cardboard box.
I'm the Cadillac of boxes.
A Cadillac.
Of boxes.
I mean, you know him the best.
You know, Cadillacs are overpriced and underfeatured, right?
So are all the cars that we sold.
Yeah, all
Yeah, but
domestic
only
cars.
one is known for it.
Yeah.
Wait, I worked at Ford.
I don't know.
I don't work at Chevy Cadillac.
Shane. I
I
don't
worked
know.
at Ford Lincoln.
I don't know anything about cars, so I'm not gonna laugh at
I
this.
don't know anything about cars either.
You sold them.
You stole them. You had to have known something.
Yeah,
about
but if I
cars.
knew but if I knew that much, I'd be a mechanic, a salesman.
Did they not have any kind of training whenever you had to like sell cars?
Hell
Like-
yeah, you had to
like-
take I had to take
was it just
8
like,
hours of training a day on a computer. It was terrible.
was it like filling out forms and doing stuff? In
No,
the
I
proper
get on a
order?
computer and there was a training program I go to the Ford website and I enter my employee ID and they have a certain section that pops up. We learn about first car we learn about is the Fiesta.
Ugh.
Okay, and then I learned the ins and outs of the Fiesta, the safety features.
I used to work next to a Fiesta.
Okay, nice.
Fiesta hair salon is not the same thing as a Ford Fiesta.
You're silly, Aaron.
Wow,
Pretty
they're
much
nearly the same
Pretty
size.
much the same thing.
It's pretty much the same
They're
thing.
nothing alike. Okay, and then I learned about the F-150s. They would, and the F-150s have different trims and
Trim packages.
Yeah,
and
and
features.
I would learn
So you
about
just had
every
you learn
single
about
one.
accessories and
Like
everything.
this one has the towing package, and and the payload package is this much, and if you buy this, you'll get this much more, and it just sucked.
Okay.
It-
I just wonder because like at Radio Shack we had the same thing where like
Yeah.
there's a bunch of stuff you had to learn about phones, how to sell them, what like 4G meant or 3G meant and different things like that.
and like
So I didn't know if like they did the same thing or there's like go sell stuff. And you're like, well, fuck, you had to learn your own.
What kind of truck do you have again?
The Silverado?
Yeah, Chevy. Okay, so you know about OnStar, right?
Well, yeah, but my truck didn't have it. It's 2004.
It was
Okay.
before that.
So
Well, we have
Boss.
we have this thing called MySync or MySync Touch,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like our version of it. Okay,
Oh,
and
for
we will
Ford?
say why it's better because
yeah, because
it's
GM.
because it's
Yeah.
free and because of this, because of that, and we give these options. Yeah, I mean, so it just
It's free.
I drive a Subaru, and they don't have any system like that because Subarus are more reliable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, my truck's. Good.
I guess I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, and we learn about cars and then trucks and then our SUVs and everything else and our
So
small
are
SUVs.
SUVs like the more complex of all of them, to where they have the features of like a sedan, but also like have towing package and 4-wheel drive and stuff like that.
They're the easiest to sell because more people want them and they have all those features. Yes.
Well, they're more
We're in Marietta,
utilitarian.
Ohio. We're in truck country, so we sell quite a bit of trucks. Everyone wants an F-150. The best selling.
I don't.
Their best selling vehicle in America and the best selling truck in 30-something years.
Well, if I was given one, I would probably own it. To be honest, I own a Ford F-150, but it's a 94, and I can lean against it and not dent the bed. And the last Ford F-150 was a 2016, and I leaned against it and I put a kink in the bed. I wasn't leaning hard like on my hand or anything like that. I was just leaning my back against it and I put a kink in it. So that's why I wouldn't own like a current one if I had to pay for it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's probably because we have an aluminum body.
Yeah, and they're lighter and they
They're-
are more.
They're much
rigid.
lighter and they're and we have. Why don't we talk about this?
I don't know. You started talking about
We started
fucking
talking about
trucks.
fucking trucks, so we're
I
talking
don't know
about trucks.
anything about trucks.
We have crumpled.
The question was.
We have
The question was how do you what'd you learn when you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I got on a
Selling
selling
trucks.
I was like, did they at least
Truck in
train
America.
you when you were there? And you went on this
yeah,
huge
basically
tangent?
when you get in a wreck,
Don't do anything visual, by the way.
Okay, basically I'm showing this to Aaron and they can hear my words. Okay, when
He's holding a blue sock.
Yeah.
when
And
you
he's
get
holding
when
it
you get in
between
a
two
wreck,
fingers.
okay, the way the vehicle is designed is the engine will drop out the bottom, so when you get wrecked, it'll just crumble zone, so it'll crumble up like an accordion, okay, because the way it's designed is aluminum body, okay, but the part that you sit in is reinforced steel. That's twice as strong as our 2014 or 2015 model. So it's a lot safer in that respect. And obviously it's a lot lighter. So you're going to be able to tow more. And your payload's going to be more.
You're talking about the Silverado? What are you talking about?
No, our F-150. So
Oh.
He's talking about.
What about my Silverado? Is it better than that?
I mean, what's important to you is the safety, comfort, reliability, gas mileage.
Yeah, my Silverado has all that, I think.
I mean,
I've never died in it.
They all
I
have
always
that.
drive where I want to go.
What do you get on the highway? What do you get in town?
Probably averages like 15.
I mean, first thing I say is this. All right, if you're worried about gas,
Mm,
then you probably should go with a truck.
Yeah.
What's the most important thing to you in a vehicle?
Nothing.
What are you hauling?
Nothing.
Right now, a tire and some PVC
Well, let's say,
pipe.
what are you hauling? Okay, what's your cargo? Do you have? Is it family?
Right now, yeah.
How many people in your family?
You know.
Okay.
Stop trying to sell a
ask
car
if
to
you could
Aaron.
sell me a car before. I asked you if you could, like, did they train you anything?
Yeah, they do. And first thing what we do is we try to find out what's important to the person. Okay, and then
Okay, so they taught you to sell, or they teach you about the cars? Because before you were like, I don't know anything about cars.
they teach you both.
Okay.
Okay.
You just didn't learn anything about the cars.
I mean, I learned a decent amount, but like I don't know how to lift up the engine, take a fucking car apart and shit.
Well, no, I mean they
don't
don't teach you how to be a mechanic. That's a completely
No, but that helps out
Different
because
school.
some mechanics who become salesmen, they this car could do this, do that, and you take it apart and they do this, it does that, and it's so much easier if you got to replace this, because this model you had to take off this part, and then to get to this part, and this model you don't have to.
I've always found that salesmen are the most honest dealers as well because they've worked on pretty much every car, so they
You mean
know which
mechanics?
ones are. Huh?
Mechanics are the most honest salesmen?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said
Because-
I find salesmen are the most honest dealers.
I was going to be like,
Sorry.
oh shit, salesman.
I meant mechanics are
Gotcha,
the most honest
gotcha.
dealers because they've worked on everything and they know which ones are the shittiest to take apart and put back together and which parts fail and everything like that. So from their standpoint of having to deal with all of that, they know that cost is generally going to be lower on a vehicle, that you can get to parts easier.
Yeah.
Like instead of having to take off the air intake and like half a dozen sensors to get the alternator off, you can just drop it out the bottom with 2 bolts on, for example.
Sure.
Yeah.
It would be easier.
For example, this complicated thing that maybe you don't know what it is. But there's an intake in an alternator in an engine stuff with bolts.
You know what else?
I know what bolts are, Calvin. Yeah, bolts.
I understood that reference.
I mean, one of the things that they teach you it's a numbers game. All right, we call up 50 people in a day.
Well, now you're talking about sales.
25 would pick up.
I understand sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we did that.
I've
we
worked
did
in,
that same
I
thing.
worked in
Yeah.
sales for like 6 years.
The idea
Yeah.
is to get them inside.
I worked in sales longer than you did,
Yeah.
You're right.
so I get sales.
Now, here's the
I
question.
worked in sales longer than you did too.
Who would be the better salesman?
Me.
As far as Shane or Aaron,
Yeah.
It might depend on what you're selling.
What's the hardest sale you ever made, Aaron?
Hardest sale I ever made?
Yeah. Is there one that sticks out as the most proud? I did it.
I know we had guys. I don't know if it was just me. I think it was me and Don. We were working together, and we had a sale where some guy came in and he was looking for something like an audio cable or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then by the time he left, he ended up leaving with a sound bar and a TV. Happens
all the time,
instead of just getting this $10 cable, you can get this. You don't even need this anymore. You use this, and you got everything set up.
Yeah.
And he ended up leaving I watched one time. This one wasn't me at all, but it was my store manager, and this guy came in for something he might have just been looking around, but he bought a tablet, a sound bar, and a laptop.
Really?
Spent $1,000 or something. What the hell? How did he do that? It was crazy. He just spent all his money, and he was just looking originally or something. I don't know. A lot of the ideas too is where we were located. We weren't in a mall. We were on a strip, a strip mall or whatever, I guess. So there wasn't
like
a
one of
ton
those places.
There wasn't like a ton of foot traffic. Usually
Yeah.
if someone came in, they came in like wanting something
For a reason.
Yeah. Whereas like Calvin used to work at the mall.
Yeah.
Where like
A lot of
there'd
foot
be people that would just walk in just because like, well, I came here to go to JCPenney's and you were here, so I thought I'd walk in and check it out.
Probably
the foot traffic's better.
Yeah, 50% of our male customers were. My wife's in JCPenney, so I'm just hanging out for here for like 20 minutes or so. I was like, okay. Yeah. If you need any help, just holler. And that's the way it was all day.
I can remember one of my worst customer moments.
Oh, man.
Was at GameStop where this guy came in with an Xbox 360 he had bought from us, and
Who goes to Radio Shack to buy an Xbox 360?
no, this was at GameStop at this time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I worked over at like Southside, and this guy came in, and his Xbox 360 he said wasn't working anymore, and he was like, "Well, I got a warranty on it." I'm like, "Okay." So I spent probably an hour working with this guy trying to find his warranty, trying to find. You have a receipt? No, I don't have a receipt. All right. I just tried looking up anything I could, trying to find out some information on this,
Yeah.
and I finally found I got a hold of somebody. They're like, "Well, this did have a warranty on it, but like 4 or 5 years ago." And like eventually I found out that it had been bought with a warranty, and then that guy sometime traded it in, and then this guy bought it again and had it for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no
Jeez.
warranty, there was nothing we had on it. Even if he had bought a warranty when he bought it, it would have been like a 1-year warranty and it'd have been out anyway.
Isn't it validate when he sells it anyways?
Well, no, because like some other guy had bought
Okay.
it, and then this guy like bought it from being traded in.
Okay.
So like someone put a warranty on it when they bought it like brand new. Then he traded in like 2 years later. Then this guy bought it pre-owned from us because it was in good condition. And then it stopped working, like it red ringed. So it didn't have any warranty or anything on it. And I'm like, "Sir, this is what I have. There's no information on this or this." And he started cussing me out and all this stuff, like saying I was like a fucking idiot and I wasn't
What?
any fucking help and yada
You
yada.
throw him out?
And well, like his
Did you bounce him?
wife was trying to calm him down. I'm like, "Sir, you gotta leave." And it was me and my store manager at the time. So
You say, sir, like,
he was gonna. I was like, you gotta go. Store manager's like, "Yes, you have to leave." So you're like, "We have other customers. You're being just rude, yada yada. We can't do anything for you." He's like, "Well," I think he asked. No, he left. Called back in, and wanted like our district manager's phone number, and cussing me out again, all this stuff. And
I
I'm
just
like,
gave him
"All right,
my number."
here you go." And I gave him the number, and he was like, "All right, fuck off," and he hung up. But before he hung up, I was like, "You have a good day too, sir," and I hung up.
That's what I like being a smart
And then
ass
our
guy.
district manager called and was talking to my store manager and was like, "So this guy, I got a call from this guy saying about this, and he came in for an Xbox, and your employee said that he couldn't help him, and he told him to fuck off, and like I was the guy cussing him out and being rude, and I refused to help him and all this stuff." And luckily my store manager had been there the whole time. He's like, "No, that didn't know what happened at all. This guy was rude. He was cussing him out." Like, it was like, I was so glad that at least my store manager had been there as well. Because if I had been there by myself, I hope they would have taken my word for it.
They probably would have.
I
I would
would
have just gave him your cell phone number.
He calls me.
Hey, how you doing?
Just just answer the phone. in a different voice.
There's been some like customers that I remember that were just awful customers.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Pizza had that too. They just want free food, They don't even care.
Yeah, those customers who call back like half an hour after you.
Well, I'll tell you what.
pizza.
I worked at the pizza shop for about 6.5 years or so, and you do get these people that think they're just the slyest people in the world. They think, "I'm gaming the system. I'm just getting free pizza now." They just happen to live on the west side of Marietta, which for all of those not in the know, it's the worst side of Marietta.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty much.
It's
like Detroit.
These people live. Okay, so I get a call saying, "Hey, I called last week. My pizza was all just messed up. My name's in the book. I need to get that free pizza you guys owe me." And I'm like, "Well, okay, well, what's your name?" And he says the name. I can't find it in the book, But half people never write shit down anyway, We were
So because of apathy.
Yeah, well, because of apathy and the fact that we're cavemen, didn't have any,
Organization
or computers or anything.
Fuck
We're just
that.
writing stuff in this blue book no one wrote in. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Someone has probably forgotten. I'm just gonna give it to him, right? And I'm like, all right, well, what's your address? And he tells me Harmer Street, which is the worst street, and Harmer, which is the west side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Pretty much.
automatically, I'm just like, something's wrong with this guy where he lives.
Where he lives
I
is
just
wrong.
prejudice against him.
Pretty
So
much.
anyway, I actually am the one that takes the pizza there, right? And when I get to the house, it's what you expect it to look like. You know, I'm not one to talk because my grass is kind of high, but if the grass is like this, you know, it's like 4 feet high, and
Eric's
there's
grass is so fucking high.
it's high in the back. It's good in the front.
It's
you know
good
what I'm
in the
saying?
front.
It's like a mullet.
It's like, I was gonna say, it's like a mullet.
It's
Yeah.
a mullet of
This
grass.
is the
This is
front,
the front
part of
part
the
of
back.
your-
It's like whenever you have like that quarter-shaped dot, you know, in the back of your head if you're bald, like, you know.
Aaron, you got
no,
that?
Aaron doesn't have that. Aaron's good. Like you said, some of those guys have a little quarter-shaped thing, you know.
Yeah.
So they just do this, and from the front it looks fine, from the back it doesn't. That's my house. Anyway, this house, you know, it was run down, smelly, you know, whatever.
Looked like a
and I knocked on the door.
It looked like it was from the
You
movie
know what?
Mile.
You know what? Too, all that lights were off except for a TV in the back, and so it was just flickering, you know. And I'm just bang, 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 come on, you know. And then nothing. I just hear like, you know, cats and dogs running around everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had this free pizza, you know. And eventually, I just walk around the back, and they're like back there. There's like 5 people standing in like a 5x5 laundry room, like smoking.
Yeah.
You know. So I give them the pizza, and they're like, "Oh, thank you, buddy." You know, "Thank you, sir." You know, that's how they talk. It was a woman.
Yeah.
So anyway, and it was. I'm not gonna give their exact address. I remember it though. So it's 3 numbers. I just remember this. So a couple weeks later, the same person calls, and it's the same house, right?
Yeah.
Same story.
It's the same story. And at this point, I'm like, something okay.
And you realize,
And they're not in the book again,
Yeah.
you know. And I remember cracking down and being like, guys, we gotta start writing this stuff down. 5 minutes later, another person calls, and they have the same exact story, but they're 2 houses down. He had told his buddy, "Hey, this is how I get free pizza." And his buddy said, "Well, shit, I'm gonna do that." And he didn't wait. He just did it 5 minutes later.
these fucking West Siders, they're probably scared of the whole pizza places in town.
It's collusion. You know what I'm saying?
They probably hit a different pizza store
Yeah.
every night, dog.
So I told him, I'm like, are you sure you didn't just call? He's like, "Well, no, man, no. Hell no." I said, "Well, I have the same exact story from someone 2 houses down." I gave him the address. He's like, "Oh, hold on a second. Hold on."
Hear me yelling.
And then like 3 minutes later, the guy that called first got on. He's like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" You know, from the other house. They knew each other. They were hanging out. And I'm like, "Yeah, why is this other guy calling for your free pizza?" And he's like, "Oh, I told him to give you a call, but I went ahead and did it anyway, so I guess we both kind of called." You know? And I'm like, "All right, so you just need the 1 free pizza, right?" He's like, "Yeah, because it was a mess up." I'm like, "Okay. All right, I just want to let you know. What's your name?" "Okay, I'm writing this down. It is out of the book. If you guys ever call back, you need to make sure you call me, Eric, and I will take care of it personally for you. So you're getting your free pizza this time, but the next time it happens, I need to make sure I reprimand the person that messes up. So I need you, when you call back, you give your name, your number, and exactly what happened. I need you to take some pictures for me. You got a camera phone?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I got one." I'm like, "You're going to take some pictures for me next time." They never called back ever again. It's fucking guys.
Give some accountability.
Yeah.
I tell you, one of the because I got so many stories. I used to work with Eric at Doughboys as well.
Pizza shop, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember driving out in Reno when you got what was that fucking out
Deer Haven.
Deer fucking Haven.
It's like the west side of the country.
It's like the heart
It's
of
like
fucking,
the little Lowell.
It's like the heart of darkness.
Yeah, it is a heart of dark, especially, yeah.
And just so Calvin knows this, let's rewind a little bit. When we're in Vola, you know, because our pizza owner, he owns like 2 different pizza stores, or 3 at this time, okay?
Yeah.
And Aaron's a green, up-and-coming prodigy delivery boy.
Yeah.
And Eric is showing him this huge map on the wall. And Aaron, you know, is tucked underneath Eric's arm. And he was like, and Eric is showing him where we deliver. And he's like, "What about this area right here?" And it's Lowell. And Lowell is like the west side of fucking Washington County.
Oh, America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America.
And he's like, "No, that's Lowell, Aaron. You must never go there."
You must never go there.
Like the Lion King.
Everything the light touches is where we deliver. What about this area? That's low.
I have a huge prejudice. West side, I'd rather deliver the west side than I would to Lowell. I'll tell you that. Because at least the west side has, like, it's a part of Marietta that's bad. Like, Lowell is all bad. There's no good parts.
Yeah.
And the good parts that are there just don't realize that
Lowell
they're
was-
surrounded by shit.
Lowell was always such a long drive.
A long drive.
No tips.
Nothing there. No tips.
It's a barren wasteland.
Yeah.
There was one time I got a tip that was awesome from Lowell, and that's because I went there and I went to like one of like the Moose.
Yeah.
Or
The
like,
Moose is good.
It was like
Moose.
was the Moose on the other side of Lowell?
Yeah.
No, there
far
was there was
side.
another one that was like another like little club place that was, like I went upstairs to like a bar.
Yeah, I
Probably
know.
middle
like
of it.
Masonic.
But
It's on
anyway,
Main Street, right?
but I
Yeah,
went
by-
there to deliver, and I had taken Melanie with me because she was there. And she was like, "Well, I'll go with you." I'm like, "All right, fine." So I delivered a pizza with
got
her in
trouble
my
for that.
truck, and when we got there, she knew the lady.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, come on up, whatever." And we went upstairs, and it was both of us, and like she's talking. There's like these drunk guys around, and like a couple wives, and they're talking yada yada yada, and then like whatever it was, like, "Well, give them a good tip, da 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 da," and they gave me $25.
Yeah.
For giving
Holy
them a pizza.
shit.
Like they ordered 1 or 2 pizzas there, and they gave me a $25 tip.
I've
And I was
got
like,
big-
Almost
Melanie,
2 pizzas.
yeah, I was like, Melanie, I gotta take you more often.
Big ass titties.
she was probably pregnant then too. You always fucking.
It's like when she's pregnant, but she's not fucking fat yet. You know what I mean? But she got big ass titties flopping around everywhere.
Shit, yeah, dog. I'll be picking those titties out sometimes. Not gonna lie.
A little too far.
That was way too far.
It was one of those times, Eric, I was delivering out to fucking Deer Haven.
Yeah.
Okay?
Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness. A geographical holocaust.
Jesus.
And
Not offensive.
it was... I was supposed to bring 2 sauce cups.
2 sauce cups.
And,
Inevitably, you forget.
No. I bring them.
You brought them.
And the husband... Actually, I remember like when you get there, there's a fucking creek
Yeah.
you have to cross. Okay? But there's fucking... Like the driveway's
I know
on...
exactly where you're
The
talking
driveway's on one side
about. Yeah.
of the creek and a house on the other. And
Yeah.
there's no fucking way to get there.
Yeah.
And then the guy runs out and he's waving. And I'm like, what? He's saying something. And then he's carrying a fucking board. And he just throws it down.
Yeah.
and meets me across.
Yeah.
It's like he's a fucking troll. And I gotta say the right words.
He has like a moat.
Rumpelstiltskin.
A moat around his kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay, and he just actually, I can't remember the conversation, but we're just bullshitting for a little bit. And his wife comes out of his little trashy trailer and he keeps yelling, "Did he bring the extra sauce?" And
Yeah.
And he was like, "Watch this. I'm just gonna fucking ignore her." You know what I mean? She's just yelling shit. Okay, and then eventually turns around and he's like, "Bitch, get your ass in that house now!" And she gives this snide look.
Like a sneer, yeah.
Yeah, and just fucking goes back, because she's just wearing a fucking nightgown,
Yeah.
fucking fat and shit hanging everywhere.
I hate nightgowns.
And that was, for some reason, that memory's burned into my mind.
Yeah.
Wakes me up in the middle of the night. I wake up on a cold
Of the
sweat.
troll man and his wife
Yeah.
with the extra sauce.
Troll man.
Yeah. I'm so glad I don't do pizza anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the tips and stuff like that were nice. And you
I don't
just
get me
got
wrong, I
paid.
had-
You got paid to drive around.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
no. But when you're, forgive me, you two, but when you're really good at your job, they don't let you drive.
Yeah.
Like whenever you can make pizzas like quickly and stuff, like, well, you're too valuable to be on the road now.
Gotta keep
Even
you
though I
inside.
was really good on the road, I wasn't allowed to do it anymore. And when I did, I inevitably had to just make pizza because everybody else sucked at it, you know?
You make more money as a delivery driver.
And you make so much more money. Like, there were nights, I mean, not really at Doughboys, but whenever Papa John's, I mean, there were nights where I was taking 140, 160 home a night, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you could get the fucking college kids. Because
Yeah.
it was like 30 seconds there, 30 seconds back, and they just had your mom's credit card, you know? And they're like, you know, $5-6 each, you know what I'm saying? You do 30 of those a night.
Yeah.
They were the great. But then you had to go to fucking Davola or Reno. It's terrible. No streetlights. It's dark. That's why the reason I had to get glasses, because I started delivering.
That's how you found out you
And
were
now I
going to
just wear
have
glasses
blind.
every day. Yeah, I know.
You put on the first time, now it's permanent.
It was weird when I first put on my glasses. It was like I felt taller. You guys get it?
Taller?
Yeah.
Have you worn your glasses forever?
It depends what's
Not
wrong with your vision.
forever.
Like right now, I feel like I'm, yeah. I get
Like when I first put my glasses on for the first time ever, it felt like I was a foot taller than I really was.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember because I got them when I was going to Shane's house at Colonial Terrace, which is like 60 feet from my house right now. I remember walking.
basically subsidized housing.
Yeah, I got out of my car and was walking down the steps going because your house is around back. And I remember just being like, going down the steps and being like, whoa, I feel like I'm going to fall over because I'm so fucking tall. I just didn't think I realized how fucking tall and awesome I was.
I don't understand how that... Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't work, Aaron, but it just is.
I don't know when I first got my glasses. I was
You're
probably...
short as shit.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
I was probably in high school or something like that when I got glasses. But
Yeah.
I don't remember being like, shit, I'm tall now.
Did you ever? I don't remember you wearing them all the time when we were younger.
I didn't used to wear them at all.
I didn't used to wear mine ever.
I wore them when I gamed, typically, honestly, after I started wearing them more often, I feel like my eyesight got worse.
Yeah.
I got glasses, and I never wore my glasses, like hardly ever. And every time I went back to the doctors for my like yearly eye exam, it was always the same prescription. They were like, yeah, it hasn't changed, it hasn't changed, it hasn't changed. And I started wearing them all the time, and everyone would go, man, your eyes got worse. Man, your eyes got worse. And, like, they had to change all my prescriptions each time. Like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Let's just stop wearing these
It's
things.
probably like that. They were slightly, like, glasses were slightly off, and your eyes like just adjusted to look through them better.
I
you know?
guess, yeah. Like,
Or you were weakening the muscles that contract.
Yeah,
and
that's what it
expand
is,
lenses
really.
and stuff.
yeah, I feel like if I just left my glasses off, my eyes would get better, but now my eyes are so used to glasses.
You know there are eye exercises you can do to help your eyesight?
Yeah.
Do you know if you look through a tiny hole, you have, like, perfect vision?
No. You mean?
It does improve.
Like, if you, like, make a tiny hole with, like, your hand, like, with, like, my worst eye is my left eye, and if you make a tiny hole, you can actually see really well.
because all of the light passing
I mean,
through the hole.
you can't see really well because you're looking through a fucking tiny
I
hole.
can't see shit.
But I mean, it's not blurry or whatever.
That's why binoculars are shaped that way.
I'm just thinking, like, I'm out, like, at night, and there's a jaguar chasing me, and I'm like,
You got
really
two
good.
little,
I
two
can't
little
see shit.
fists up in your eyes looking through two little tiny holes.
When you run into a fucking tree.
It probably
No,
just let me
the,
go because I'm so fucking stupid. You know?
He thinks you're running away crying when
Yeah.
actually you're just holding your fists up in front
And
of
by
your
the way,
face.
speaking at Colonial Terrace, and I know you might have heard of this, I don't know if Calvin ever has. When I was living over there on food stamps, subsidized housing, Eric one time was as sick as a dog.
I don't know. I don't remember what happened. But we were watching a show, I think. I'm just sitting on this couch, and I just felt like you know that feeling that you get. It's like there's a bubble in the back of your throat, you know.
Yeah.
You're like you're trying to swallow it, you know, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I'm gonna throw up, and I've only thrown up like less than 10 times in my life. I don't throw up a lot.
Yeah.
For as much as I ingest, I throw up surprisingly little. Right?
Yeah.
So I just remember being
That's
like,
a problem. You haven't thrown up enough.
I just remember going looking at Shane and being like, Shane, I need a bucket. I need to throw up right now.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, and then I realized it was too late. And Shane's front door is like 8 feet from me.
Yeah.
I know.
But I can make it. I just run out and just throw up outside, you know?
And I have never seen this boy move. The way he moved
I move fast.
for that door.
Calvin, it
like-
was not fast enough
Not-
because I reach for the handle and I'm going like this, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, you know how like,
It's like the
If you
Titanic.
put your hand over the end of a hose, how it
Yeah.
just sprays out the side.
yeah, it was like that started to come out, and then I went to open the door and go, ugh! But I just never opened the door. I went, blah! And then opened the door. And then,
So it's worse. He throws up on my floor, on my door, and then outside my door.
But then also on the wall behind the door because
Yeah.
it all just went.
So, like, when I'm done and I go to close the door, it's like I had killed 7 people with like a rake, like, you know? And it was everywhere. And Shane's just looking at me like, because it's so much worse than what could have happened, you know? I could have thrown up in one spot,
I remember
but
because
instead
he's
I
like-
threw up in like 10 square feet.
I remember he was like, don't worry, I'll clean it up.
I cleaned it.
He did.
Oh
And then
my
you asked me
gosh.
for a glass of water. What did I do?
He went and got a pan.
I got like
He
a...
got like the biggest bucket he could. Right? It was like a huge pot. Like
He did it all the time.
he brought like his giant pot. I remember hearing this story so many times. I feel like I was there. He brought this giant pot over and like set it there next to
Like a
him.
glass of water.
Yeah.
That's his size.
And then Eric, like, even in my time of despair,
When was my
like,
time of despair?
even in my darkest moment, you still
Oh, yeah.
can't pass up
With the throw up.
to
Yeah.
make a joke
Yeah.
at his expense.
Yes.
How long were you fucking waiting for that pot to fill up with water?
No, he
When
did.
you-
I'm laughing the whole time.
I thought you put like an actual glass inside of it, like an actual cup of
That's
water.
what I started doing. Because
Yeah.
I had people over, and I didn't want to, like, take too long.
Yeah.
And so I get a glass of water, I put it in a big pot.
You'd
And then
set
I
it
bring
inside
everyone
the-
else a glass, and I walk out of the room with a big ass pot for Eric. I go, just kidding! And I pull the glass out. And Eric would be like, heh heh. You
Well,
know?
'cause everybody else would be sitting there uncomfortable, like, we laugh.
right?
I don't know.
They don't know the
Eventually, I
Because
get
I'm
up
a
on it.
great host.
Whenever I first coming over, like Shane would make those jokes, and I'd always be like like you know, like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Then eventually I just like, all right, fuck it.
And you just start
We're
laughing
gonna laugh,
at
we're gonna
what
laugh.
you don't understand.
I was like, I'll laugh. And Eric's like, Aaron's hairline. Haha. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, Aaron, the other day, looking at pictures.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you're not that bald, but you're receding.
No, it's the same as it was in kindergarten.
It was not.
Pretty close. It's
I mean, it's balder, but you look like a 30-year-old man.
fuck. I'm only 27.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I mean, fucking Shane's hairline's lesser than it was.
Yeah.
I mean, Shane's hairline looks like a 40-year-old
Yeah.
woman.
What's been like? It was
That-
like.
that
You
band
can
and
pull off
stuff.
bald far more than this man will be able to.
If
this
shave
guy-
my head, I look pretty good.
Nah, you'll be
Rub my
so
hair
damn
on.
insecure.
Dude, I will look like
What?
You'll be so damn insecure.
I don't think I would be.
He will be.
I'll look like
The
what's
only
his
thing that
name?
makes me insecure is when I'm fat.
Who's the new Professor X? What's his name?
James McAvee.
I look like James McAvee.
I don't know. You're not.
Maybe more than Shane will, I guess.
Thanks.
Describe homeschool life to us.
Homeschool life?
Yeah.
Imagine never having a snow day. Or, like,
How do you
recess.
How do you know what a
or-
snow day feels like?
He's like, I don't.
There were, like, once or twice a year when we got, like, a foot and a half of snow, Mom would be like, okay, you guys don't have school today. And we'd be like, yes! And we'd put on all of our clothes as fast as we could, and we'd just go outside in the snow and play.
Did you guys have summer break? Or you just keep having to go to school?
We did have summer break,
Or weekends?
but
Were you guys a part of any groups like
homeschool groups and
Yeah.
stuff?
Like the basketball team?
No. Are you fucking kidding?
I don't know if there's like a homeschool, like get together
Not
and play
around
basketball.
here.
Where is this school at? Where is
Aaron.
homeschool?
Well, yeah, but
You just
I know
perpetuated
so
that
many
joke
I know so many people that go to homeschool.
that you think it's a place, and it's just on the front of the building it says home, and it's a home school. No, that's not the case.
Every basketball scoreboard has the home logo on it.
That's the home team, asshole.
well, I mean, like I heard different things from different people, different kids who are homeschooled, and some are completely different. Like there's this kid who went to my high school and he was homeschooled, but he took gym at our school.
What? That's weird.
Yeah,
He
and
doesn't-
he tried for sports, and he sucked at all of them.
I mean, I've heard of homeschooling.
well, it wasn't his fault because he didn't have any competition growing up.
I've heard of homeschooling from like until like 9th grade, then you go to high school.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And I would have said that I never heard of anybody else that didn't do that, but Calvin lived like less than 10 miles away from my house.
Yeah.
We didn't even know he was fucking out there. You know, granted,
Nobody did.
He's younger than I am, but like even your older siblings,
Yeah.
you know, they would have been like in my grade. You
Yeah.
know, we had no clue. There's only like 10 of us out there. I went to
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
People out in the country have to stay together, stay alive.
What was it like having so your mom was your teacher, right?
Yeah. She taught all three of us kids. My eldest sister, Mom pulled her out in 3rd grade, and my middle sister, she pulled her out of the school system in, I think it was in between kindergarten or the 1st grade, I'm not sure. And they went through high school in homeschooled. They have a little taste of like public school and stuff like that, but I was pretty much 1st grade through 12 of homeschooled. So the first real public school experience I had was community college, and
That was a mind fuck, wasn't it?
it was weird
So you
because
see
I
all
was
these
like,
girls walking around for the first time in your life.
I mean,
what the fuck is
Hallelujah.
this fucking? How would you have a boner the entire time?
no, I didn't, because I mean I had friends growing
Where?
up,
No,
like,
no one taught him that stuff.
not like in
Where?
my class.
Where?
Other people who homeschooled in this area, but we weren't part of like a homeschool group.
So how'd you find out about each other?
Yeah,
What do
true.
you mean?
Did your parents put you in play
How'd
dates?
you meet? Yeah, how'd you meet?
Your kids homeschooled, my kids homeschooled. Let's get them together, baby. Were you guys
I mean,
betrothed? Stuff
No,
like that?
we weren't betrothed or anything weird like that. No, I think we, like, our moms met at like a grocery store or something like that. I'm not
So
sure.
out of all the grocery stores they
And
met,
all the moms.
I think there's some shady shit going
Hey,
on.
Well, I think it was because on like a
Fair.
school day,
Yeah, that's
like one mom would see another mom with all of her kids. And it's like,
Oh.
oh, those kids must be homeschooled because they're not in school.
Sounds like a bunch of
the
stories.
other mom would see
point,
us.
though. You know?
Sounds like a bunch of stories other homeschool kids made up.
Because I remember
tell themselves this stuff.
I remember when I graduated. I remember going to Walmart and being like, you know what's great about this? I get to go and play like the demos of video games. No one will be there. All the kids are in school, and I get there, and there's just some fucking little kid playing. I'm like, fucking homeschoolers.
That's the thing about growing up as a homeschooled kid.
Yeah.
All these adults look at you like you're skipping school.
Sure.
You know, you're with your mom at the grocery store
Yeah.
picking up groceries, and you did your studies earlier that day, and you were a good little boy, so you got to go with mom in town and maybe get a candy bar if you were real good.
Maybe.
You know what?
And all these parents are giving you this fucking dirty look like she's the worst parent in the world keeping you out of school. When actually I'm doing...
Here's on a field trip.
I'm on a field trip getting groceries.
Yeah.
I'm learning math.
To the big town.
Yeah.
Big time.
You know what?
I was actually doing like courses that were 2 grades higher
I got a
than
question about
the grade
this.
I was in.
Like whenever, let's say when I went from 2nd grade to 3rd grade, you know, you're with all your friends, yeah, but you're in a completely different room, new teacher, you know, new books, like everything's changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what was it like when you went from one year to another? You're in the same damn spot, right?
Yeah, you're in the same chair, same room.
So just like for
Same fucking
12
pencil.
years, you just stayed in the same spot. You know, like when I went from like 6th to 7th grade, I went from going to Salem Liberty to Fort Fry High School, a half hour away. You know, we're going to school with you know, it's 7th to 12th grade, so you're seeing fucking just hot women, you know, going down, you know.
You're seeing fucking women.
Yeah.
You're a little boy.
Yeah, you're a little fat boy,
You
right?
see 17, 18-year-old girls, and you're
I
like
wasn't
12.
little. I was big, and everybody just, you know, I played football and everything. It was nice, but it was just a huge change from like one year to another. I'm just trying to think like what school would be like if I had stayed in Mrs. Smith's class.
It'd be how fucking Calvin was when he went to college.
You had that scared / excitement of like, oh, I'm going to
it's
this
like
place.
a new
It's like-
year, and it's a new teacher. You could get a
So
shitty
you
teacher.
stayed
or a best
home
one.
for 12 years.
I mean, we went outside in the woods and stuff like that, and of course we like went to
Yeah,
town.
but you fucking played with your siblings.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. I didn't have many
But
friends.
you didn't have
growing
any
up.
brothers.
What?
You don't have any brothers, do you?
No,
Okay.
just my 2 sisters.
Okay. Who you love very much, both of them.
Yeah.
Of course.
No, I like my sisters. Growing up with them wasn't the easiest thing, but growing up with any sibling isn't the easiest.
What was your
thing.
curriculum like?
My curriculum?
No, I mean,
well, like
did you and Maggie and what's her name?
Lessa.
Lessa. I almost said Elsa. I don't know why.
Frozen.
Yeah, well, I mean, certain subjects I'm sure she'd teach all 3 of you together, except different difficulties, right? Different difficulties.
different
Different levels, right?
I mean,
Like you're learning history, but
Typical.
Calvin, you're studying this. You're learning history, but
we
Maggie, you're
didn't
studying that.
like sit down in like a room of the house and like everyone has their desk and mom like
Had a
points at
chalkboard?
the
Well, a lot of
everything.
Damn it, no
homeschool is
chalkboard?
it's self-teaching.
No chalkboard.
From what I understand, right?
Huh?
Like a lot of homeschool is self-teaching. Like you teach all of it yourself, isn't that how?
Yeah, basically she would just sit.
You
us,
have a packet you
like,
have to do every day. I've read.
Huh?
That. I've read that some people have a packet.
Some people like assemble packets to do every day. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Mom, I mean, she was a stay-at-home mom. She had us 3 kids. We were all in vastly different grades. My eldest sister is 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
So by the time she was like graduating high school, I was still in like 7th grade.
Yeah.
So I was definitely the most challenging of her 3 because I would get very bored easily with the work.
Yeah.
Just because it wasn't challenging enough.
Yeah.
She would advance me through history and geography and some math, science, and stuff like that. I think when I finished school, I was doing like, I think junior level college courses in like science and some math. So like the work that I was doing was more than what the state expected me to be able to do at that grade level.
Yeah.
But because my mom was making the decisions on what I learned, she could be more flexible with what she taught us. And I realized when I went to community college that like college isn't hard. It's like what I did 2 years ago.
Washington State wasn't hard at all.
Washington State isn't hard, but it's still college level courses.
Yeah.
But I had done all of that before, so I was getting President's List and straight 4.0 GPA
Yeah.
and not even trying that hard.
Yeah.
And I just, it blew my mind how much that I didn't have to try because
think
I had already been through it all.
Yeah. I'll take that back. take that back. I hate
Bath
it.
of baths.
I will take that
I'm
back.
not, hey, it's not Wednesday yet. I'm not taking a bath yet. I suck at math. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm good at any math that I am not allowed to do in my head. My mom got so pissed at me because I was doing algebra 2 in my head, and I wouldn't write down my work. I would still get the right answer, but I would do all of the work in my head.
Yeah.
And just, like, I would sit there looking at the problem for 5 minutes, and I would write down an answer. My mom gets so mad at me because she knew I was doing the work.
Yeah.
And you're graded on your work, not necessarily your answer.
Were you able to show your work, though? Did you know how to do it?
I knew how to do it,
Okay.
but I wasn't doing it in my homework. So she was getting mad at me. Even though I was getting the right answer, I wasn't showing my work.
I got in trouble for the same thing in high school because, like, number one, I would never show my work on stuff. Even, like, I had a test, and, like, I would just go through and put all the answers and get them all right. And finally, I had a teacher who didn't care. He just wanted the right answers. Like, good. He knows I got it. He lets it go. But then I also started hating homework. I'm like, this is useless. I take the test and get 100%.
Yeah.
But I don't care about the homework's not graded. They just want me to do it.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
You know, I bet you I did less homework than I actually did homework
In your life?
in my life. I abhorred homework. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I did
if
too.
I ever finished an assignment like by myself one time and not like copy it from someone else, like that was an achievement. Like, oh my gosh, people feel like this all the time, but they didn't because it was special for me.
Yeah.
I was always finishing my homework for the class next period.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Because you don't want to go home and do it.
Yeah, like
You're there all fucking day. Why do you want to go home?
Because I actually love learning. I just hated school.
Like, I would be on the
Right,
bus finishing up my English homework for first period, and then first period in English finishing up my math homework for, like, second period. Like, I would be my, like, sneaking in American history trying to finish up, like, my band homework.
That's one reason I had
Fucking band.
one fucking reason I went to breakfast at school, you know, because I remember just judging the breakfast.
Free
kids.
breakfast.
Like, I couldn't have breakfast at home, you know. But no, like I just started going to breakfast so I could do homework, you know.
So
Like-
how do you separate, Calvin? Like, I'm in school now, and now we're not in school. You're mom and dad. I'm your son. It's
well, yeah, that's what I was-
all right, time's up.
I was gonna ask that the same thing. Like, did you guys have like a classroom, or is it like your
No, it was
it
basically a
kitchen
living room.
or?
Our living room, our kitchen table, wherever I wanted to do my homework that day, I would basically just like throw my books down, get my clipboard, open my book, start reading.
Make up a hot pocket.
We didn't have Hot Pockets.
Yeah, Hot Pockets.
No, we didn't.
You have them all the time now.
I mean, we weren't the richest people. I
Because
buy them for
he fucking-
myself.
They're Hot
now.
Pockets.
I
Richest
know,
people.
but like,
It's like, oh, give me
but
some
mom was
Marietta and a Hot
mom was a
Pocket.
stay-at-home mom, so she made everything.
She
Yeah.
made hot pockets.
She didn't make Hot Pockets.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't have Hot Pockets, Aaron.
Oh yeah.
Fucking,
Homeschooling. That's terrible. We don't have Hot Pockets.
All right.
I know.
I was just saying, did your
People don't
mom?
understand. That's why I'm so happy when I have Hot Pockets on stream now.
Yeah, it's like I'm in public school.
Yeah, I'd go home, finish my homework,
No.
make a hot pocket.
Did your parents have a way for you to fraternize with
People
like
with,
with the
like-
opposite sex?
No.
He had sisters. That's the closest.
I mean, that was the closest thing I had to, like...
Yeah, so
So you
did-
basically started seeing hot girls when you were like in college.
I mean, I went outside before college.
I'm sure he went.
Yeah,
Well, no, but he means like
There were field trips to the mall.
You mean like
you interacted
talking
with
to
them
them?
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I would talk to them. I have decent self-esteem. I can go up and talk to someone.
You be in your homeschool, all right, homeschooling around, and it would be after homeschool hours, and you would see a hot ass girl like at Walmart,
Well, it's not like I went
and you
out
would
by
you'd
myself.
peek that ass out, and you holler at her.
Hey,
That's
hey
what
girl, I got
No,
Hot Pockets. You know what
yeah, I got the hot pockets, baby.
You know how much these are
You're
worth?
stroking your beard.
Okay.
It's his beard then.
I didn't have my beard then, but it would have been very awkward. For me, Aaron, stop doing that. It's just stroking an imaginary beard that's like a foot long.
the Calvin face. The eyes down, crazy like. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No, I didn't like. I don't like it when you put it in terms like you fraternized with like the opposite sex. It's like it's not what we did. We went out and we met.
We had
people
church groups,
that
didn't you?
Yeah, we met friends and we would sometimes hang out with them if we had time, and that would be that.
Yeah.
So your family was there though, wasn't it?
I mean, most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yes.
You ever get any... Okay, I'm just asking.
What were you gonna ask?
What were you gonna
You ever
ask?
get any action?
Did you get any action on the homeschool bus?
Or the church camp?
You mean the Honda Civic? No.
No, I'm wondering. You probably don't get a lot of opportunities to be alone with a girl your age
Well,
when
that's
you're
by
like,
design, right?
I mean, most of the friends that I had were like my sister's friends, and they were a lot older than me. So it's... I mean, plus that desire, like, wasn't there. I wasn't, like...
till you're about 22.
I mean, are you referring to like in high school and like driving by yourself?
I thought
that
he
kind of
meant
stuff,
like
or what?
when I was a kid, like when we were a kid, like elementary school, like 3rd or 4th grade. We would have Calvin. Did you ever have recess? Like we had recess.
Like, every once in a while, we could, like...
Then you just get out.
we had recess.
Well, it's
every
not like
day.
we would, like, get out.
All right, run.
No, it's like...
Get back here.
Just they unlocked the doors from the
Yeah.
outside and we could go outside and play. No, it wasn't like
With
that.
shock collars on and like a dog.
No, it's like...
Testing those
Some-
fences.
Sometimes my mom would like, okay, you've been sitting there for a long time. Go outside and take like
Sure.
5 laps around the house.
Okay.
And come back inside and keep doing your homework.
That's your fucking
I'm saying, like,
recess?
recess was like a
It
whole
was shitty,
for us.
okay? We didn't
And, like,
we didn't like hang out with friends or anything
Yeah.
unless we had our homework done.
I just
I'm just
picture-
talking like when we did recess, like you'd have like a couple of weeks where you do the same thing, and then you transfer to something like one
do
recess.
kickball.
Like we played basketball. All right, next recess, basketball, same teams, same score.
Yeah.
Or
Or
you do
even-
that for like a week, or you're on those wings, or in you're in the jungle gym. And then for like 1
You
week,
guys ever play Foursquare?
for 1
Yeah.
week, we would just
Fuck yeah.
hide around the building and just fucking. We'd pair off, boy and girl, and just fucking kiss. That was just one thing we did. Like,
What?
Yeah. Like, just every recess, you get a different girl. It was the best,
You guys are swingers.
We were swingers.
we
You
didn't do
never
that shit.
had that thing.
No, I didn't. I went to St. Mary's Catholic School for 10 years. So I went to school with. We graduated with 14 people in my class, and I was
Yeah.
with them since kindergarten. We started out with like 30, and then we lost people over time.
To Catholics.
No, the public.
What?
The
The
public.
Catholic priest would just
No,
take
because-
kids
No,
if they
no.
wanted or
Like
what?
when we got to like 6th grade, 7th grade, some people transferred.
Would
to
go
Park-
back to the public.
They
Yeah.
would go to Parkville Catholic or Marietta Middle School.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had the
Um,
same 2 people in my class.
But then I got
They
the
weren't
high-
same grade as me.
And then I got to high school, and like a lot of those friends I lost, they were all there again. So we all just reunited the group. But I mean, yeah. So like, I was around the same guys and girls my entire life, pretty much, until I got to high school.
Earlier when you guys some of the shock colors and stuff, for some reason
Shot
just-
call love.
I just pictured like Calvin's mom like yelling at her husband, his dad, being like, "Honey, the door locks." Like, I don't know why. Like, Calvin's like running, he's like, "Nah."
They're out there looking out the window. They just see Calvin out there just sniffing around. He's like, "You never attack the fences the same place twice." Your numbers.
I guess the thing that I'm just thinking about is you wake up, you're in school, you do your homework,
You're
you're
still
done
in
with school,
It's
and you
not
stay
homework.
there.
Yeah, all your
You
work
stay
was
there.
homework.
Yeah, all
And
my
it-
work was homework.
And then your weekend you stay there, and then your summer you stay there.
yeah.
You know what I was thinking about?
That's
Is, like,
why we were so highly active outdoors.
Yeah.
We didn't have any like gaming consoles or anything like that. We didn't have any
you
computers.
just get the fuck
we didn't
out
have
of there.
internet or anything like that.
you still don't.
Yeah, like
I didn't have internet.
Not
I
anything
didn't
that
have
would be
internet at my
considered
parents'
that.
house till I was 16 or 15.
Yeah.
15, I mean.
See, the thing that would suck to me is like you never got a chance to like figure out yourself and then reinvent yourself. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I remember like in like elementary school and grade school, like eventually I got to a point where like 8th grade was like my test year where I was trying out like new clothes and different things.
Yeah.
And then high school, I changed my entire wardrobe, started spiking my hair and doing all this different stuff.
What clothes were you wearing before
I used
this?
to always wear like straight legged like blue jeans. And then just I don't even know what t-shirts they were, just shirts my mom got me, you know?
Yeah.
Of whatever.
Like
And
yeah,
then
just
like
yard sale shirts.
and then like 8th grade year, I got a bunch of clothes at like Aeropostale.
Yeah.
So I was wearing like cargo pants and cargo shorts and like these like, you know, branded shirts and whatnot. And then by the time I got into like high school, I chose like baggier jeans because I like blue jeans. And I started doing a lot more of like the overshirt type stuff and
Dragging
spiking my
shit.
hair.
Yeah.
Not
You
dragging
you
this
still
shit.
do that
I
shit.
still do it. I like it.
He still wears like an undershirt with a fucking overshirt unbuttoned dragon logo.
Yeah.
Hair spiked up with a fucking choker.
What? No, I'm joking. I remember 8th grade year though, like some of the girls I liked, like notice I was dressing differently and like even say, hey, I like your outfit, or I like your shirt or something. I was like, hey,
Smack that ass.
fuck yeah. So like I remember going into high school being like, I'm changing my stuff. I'm not gonna do this straight-legged shit no more. I wear that whenever I'm at home, like in the yard doing whatever. Or
I'm
something.
not trying to.
Yeah,
impress
you
people.
get off the bus and run behind the bushes for your mom would see you and you'd be wearing your yeah.
Like have clothes.
Hey, mom.
It's like the opposite of like whenever
You pick her a flower.
like the daughter's trying to leave and her dad's like, no, you can't wear that, and like she would take it like in her backpack and change and take it off.
She
Away.
she's like,
Yeah.
Eric, you're such a good boy. And she turns around and he's like, I'm that black boy, really.
But I changed like a lot of like I never used to do my hair. My hair was always like flat. My mom would cut it and that was done. And then I started like I found a guy that I liked at a certain barber shop and he would always do my hair. Like one time he's like, hey, you want me to do your eyebrows? I'm like, oh, all right. Like so he's like, I don't know to notice my eyebrows.
Yeah.
So like he like trimmed down my eyebrows, do whatever, and then like as soon as I got home, whatever, my mom's like, what happened to your eyebrows? I'm like, what? Like everyone noticed, like shit. I didn't think it was gonna be a big deal. Everyone noticed, like
What they do, like wax them or something?
no, he just trimmed him like with his thing, like he
Yeah.
shaped him and did stuff. Like I just never did anything like that. And like he would like trim my like I always did the chin strap stuff when I got older,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
right? Because like I could never get a full beard to grow. Like I had spots that didn't like growing.
Yeah.
But like the chin strap I could do. So I always started doing that. But he would like even it out with my
He'd
hair,
shape it for you.
and then he would like make it like thin sometimes and
Yeah.
stuff too. And I liked it. And then he left. I don't
And
know
he
where
died.
I don't know where he could have died. I don't know where the fuck he went. His name was Chad. He did a good job. If I could find him now, I'd still go there.
Yeah.
But
When I was in St. Mary's Catholic School, we all had to wear uniforms.
Ugh. Yeah.
like skirts.
But the girls had to wear skirts, and they could only be like 2 inches above the knee. And which is weird because now like it's a similar style to what I wear now as an adult. We just had to wear fucking polos. We had polos and like certain kind of button-up shirts we could wear, and khakis or navy. You know what I mean? Navy pants.
Yeah.
And kind of when we were younger, it kind of sucked. You know what I mean? Because we every once in a while we'd have dress down day. You could wear fucking jeans and whatever, and it was like the best day ever when you get to Catholic school is when you had dress down day. But then eighth grade, you're done with St. Mary's, and I had to go to high school. I'm about to get this huge fucking world where I don't know anyone, and I'm nervous and stuff. I'm thinking, what the fuck do I wear? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm doing all this research on the internet. But like outside of school, like it's probably 7th, 8th grade is when when you get to 8th grade, you're allowed to dress down once a week. So I started wearing like jeans and like Tommy Hilfiger or American Eagle t-shirts. That's pretty much all I wore. But then I would always wear black. And me and one of our good friends, Gus Lindemood, we would always borrow each other's clothes. We would always wear dark colors. So we were always kind of gothy. I didn't really wear a bunch of chains and black fingernails and stuff like that, but I always liked wearing black and fucking black aviators. And that was kind of my thing. When I got to high school, I kind of transitioned. Like a preppy / gothy. It was really weird. Sometimes I would be like, hey, I'm going to be gothy. You know what I mean? So I'd wear just like black jeans, black shoes, and a black wife beater. You know what I mean? The next day I'd wear like a Ralph Lauren polo shirt. I remember my friends saying like, you wear some unique shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just kind of combine together and I would just wear like a Ralph Lauren polo that was just black. You know what I mean? And that was pretty much the only style I've always done my hair. Some capacity.
Yeah.
Right now it's a little messed up.
I wish we could get a picture of his hair right now.
They'll see it in some videos and stuff.
Yeah.
I just picture Calvin at my school, sometimes I just go downstairs naked, and then they'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
did you have to
sorry.
dress up for school?
No.
So you just fucking...
No, I mean, half the days if we knew we weren't going to be going anywhere, like if it was rainy outside or something like that, we just stay in our sleep clothes all day. Like sweatpants.
Kind of just like
Well, you probably had to go collect the rainwater.
Did
and
you
shit.
have to like?
No. Did you have to? We had a system for that.
Well, you had to pull it out of a well
Did you
with a
have to
barrel?
like wake up early or anything, or you just do whenever?
I mean, back when we were living in Wilmington on the other side of the state, we would actually get up with Dad. He was a tool maker, and he got up at 3:30 in the morning
Shit.
to go into Dayton as a tool maker, and we would get up then and do our homeschool or do all of our homework and everything, and we would actually be done with school before the public school kids were getting on the bus. So we would be out in the front yard at like 7:30 in the morning, playing around, running, just waving, screaming, yelling shit at the public school kids who were sitting on the bus.
like,
Well, probably like there's those.
No, I wasn't helicopter.
They're
dicking.
probably like there's those nocturnal grubs.
Filthy public school kids.
I mean, we went to bed earlier too. We went to bed at like
I'm
7
saying
o'clock
the
at
worst
night.
thing ever about school was that I had to wake up at 6:45 just so I could be at school at 8. Because I had to fucking get up, get ready, drive. It sucked.
The thing I hate is that we lived like 2 minutes from school, and if we got on the bus, we would have to get on the bus at 6:30 to be there by 7:30. So we had to ride the bus for an hour.
Fucking walk
for
that
2
motherfucker.
minutes.
You're only 2 miles?
My mom started driving us there.
Yeah.
She was like, "We'll just leave at like 7:20 and get you there by 7:25, no later than drop you off and you go in." So I started doing that, but then I started riding the bus to high school. Like it was weird.
You
I hadn't been
you're
on
like,
the bus for a long time.
And then you realize that you're like one of the only fucking high school kids riding the fucking bus because most people get fucking rides or they drive themselves.
Well, no. Usually, what would happen is like my bus rides was still like I would still go to my grade school that I went to at Bartlett, and then it would drive us from there to Warren.
Yeah.
15 minutes or whatever it was on the bus. So like I'd get dropped off there, and then we would all ride the bus there.
When'd you stop riding the bus?
Whenever I could drive, probably.
Like sophomore year?
The bus is a weird hierarchy of children, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you remember when you were like for us it was like when you're in 5th grade, there's just a couple 6th graders left on your route, and you know that next year, like you're gonna be the oldest and you get to sit in the back. You get to sit in the back seat. That was always the prize seat, right?
Yeah, as you got older, you got to move further back in the.
I'll tell you, a lot of good things happen in that back seat. That's why I saw my first pair of titties.
What?
In the back seat of the school bus.
Man, I remember being on
Bus
buses.
11. Sue Beal drove that bus.
I had bus 9, Anita.
Yeah.
Man, I remember being on buses, and I always knew there was shit going on back there. And I never got to see nothing. I was always like in the middle of the bus. Like I always remember like stuff happening and hearing about people kissing or someone be like, "Oh, dude, this happened back there." I'm like, "Well, fuck! Why didn't I get to see it?"
Yeah.
But I never got to see none.
Weird shit back there. What was that one chick that went to our school? She came later. She was in high school. She always wore red leather pants.
Mandy Houston.
Yeah.
She didn't even go to my school,
She
but
did some
I heard
shit in the back of that.
I heard some legendary tales growing up from these boys.
I was probably riding the bus still in like when I was a freshman, between freshman and sophomore. She just shows up to school one day because they moved in.
Fat ass red leather pants.
Fat ass and red leather pants, and just like what has God given us, And they don't know that the whole time. We get up before she does. That's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? I just remember that happening and being like, because it never happened.
First pair of titties I saw.
Salem kids.
Yeah.
Lower Salem kids. First pair of titties I saw was in 7th grade, actually. And it was just, I got in trouble and had to fucking ride the Fairview bus to go to Fairview.
Yeah.
The short bus?
No, it's just like a big long ass bus. It's basically the high school bus, and all the bad kids had to ride a fucking. Anyways, so. And this fucking.
They take all the bad kids, put them together.
And this fucking girl.
She had to one.
This girl, she had like no titties, but she flashed us.
Yeah.
And I remember being, oh my god, hallelujah,
it's happened.
hallelujah. I felt like I'm not even a virgin anymore, man. I saw titties. You know what I mean? And that was the first. I didn't really touch them or anything like that because they were like fucking far away.
Yeah, I remember
The first pair of real titties like I saw and touched and felt were summer after freshman year.
I don't even know what mine would. I can't remember.
The first time I didn't kiss a girl until I was a freshman in high school.
I remember the first ones that I actually saw up close and like touching shit. I remember just tan lines and being like, "This isn't right. Like something's wrong."
Was it really contrasting?
It was really contrasting. Like, really like sunburn and white flesh. And I remember just being like, "This isn't right."
I remember. Well, I mean, my first girlfriend that I did a lot of shit with, I had constant access to titties all the time.
Yeah.
This girl, her parents just let her do what the fuck she wanted to do.
Yeah.
So she was just sucking my dick all the time and stuff like that, and I just was like, oh my god, I'm gonna marry this girl. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because I love her. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then we were at Walmart, me and my buddy Zach, and I ended up seeing her by chance there. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, nothing. You want to get together tonight? I'm like, yeah, we're going camping. And her parents were split up, but her dad lived like a mile away from the end of my road. I lived out in the country, and that road's like a mile long. So she's basically like a 2-mile walk. Mm-hmm. And she goes, yeah, my dad will let me come over. I'm like, okay, cool. So basically, we had a plan for her to meet me at the end of my road at like 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And I remember her dad just dropping her ass off, and then her going, Shane, you here? I'm thinking, The dad didn't even give a fucking... He didn't even care. He just dropped her ass off and said, well, I'll call you later.
Yeah.
Well, I guess worst case is she walked a mile back home, right?
Pretty much. I remember I took her down to the fucking campsite, and this is like the, and from this point on, like when I was spending the night with a girl, it was never like a sexual thing. It was always like, I wanted them, but they didn't want me, or we were just friends or whatever. Or they were hideous, and I didn't want to touch them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I remember we were hanging out, me, Zach Brooker, and Jordan Stryker, all right? Two of my good buddies. And I was basically hanging out with them for like an hour, and then I was able to get this girl into the tent. I remember I looked at her and said, hey, Bridget. Oh, shit. Cut that out. I remember looking at her.
Bridget!
Fine, you can say Bridget. I don't care. It don't matter. It was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Come into this tent. I got to show you something. And I thought I was being clever, but she knew what was going on. And in my head, I'm thinking, hell yeah. And Jordan Stryker looked at me and goes, what are you going to show her, Shane? And I'm like, you shut up. So we get in this tent, and, we're doing pretty much everything but sex. Because at that time, I was like, well, I want to make sure I'm really in love with you before I do sex. Mm-hmm. And she was, she understood, okay? Anyway, so we're done. And I had to walk her back up the hill through the woods.
Yeah.
Back down my
You
road.
haven't offered to ever stay over. He's like, you got the hell out of here.
Back down
Done,
my...
you gotta get the fuck out.
This ain't room for tent and three
Like,
people.
you wanna yeah.
I had to walk her back, and that way she would get to the end of my road, and then she would have cell service.
Sure.
Okay, then we're walking up the hill through the woods, okay? Pitch fucking black. All right? Like going over trees, briars, bushes, cow shit, horse shit, all kinds of stuff. And then I see this long, lanky figure, silhouette, pacing, because we're behind an electrical fence, because we just camp out where the fucking horses stay. And it's like a fucking 1,000,000 square miles, and there's like 10 horses, and we just pray to God they don't trample us in the middle of the night, and usually it worked out.
Yeah.
Okay? Usually it worked. I remember seeing it and I knew it was my dad.
Yeah.
And the breath left my body. Mm-hmm. Hyperventilating, and Bridget was like, what's wrong? Baby, what's wrong? Yeah, I was like pointing. All right, and then all of a sudden, like, we're probably about a mile down the woods, but you can see our campfire. He starts, and I'm about halfway up, though, and he doesn't know yet. But my dad starts screaming, Shane! Like a madman.
Yeah.
And I go, get down! And I'm like hiding, like, face down in the weeds. Okay? And he just screaming, Shane! And he's not going to stop. And I go, what? And he's like, Shane! I'm like, what? Is Bridget down there? And I go, what? Get up here! Now! So I'm like, oh shit. So I had to think real quick. So basically, Zach Brooker, he stayed behind because I knew my dad wouldn't let us leave him alone. And I had Jordan go with us. Because
You mean because you thought that your dad would make you guys have to stay home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I knew he wouldn't let Jordan walk back in the woods by himself. My dad just thought Jordan was like an incompetent fuck, okay? So we went up there, and I remember my dad opening the door. He was in the living room, fucking in the darkness of the kitchen. All right, and he walked down, his eyes were all bloodshot, and he's like shaking, smoking a cigarette. And he's like, what is she doing down there with you? Like pointing. And I'm like, well, she was just hanging out with us. We're playing flashlight tag. And he's like, flashlight tag, huh? And with the most serious face, I'm like, yes. And he goes, okay. He grabs the portable phone and just chucks at her chest. And, I'm 16, she's 15. And it's like fucking child abuse. He wings at her. And I remember thinking, like, oh shit. And he's like, call your parents. And my dad, when he got mad, he would be loud. He'd be mad. And he'd have this humorous look on his face, like he was smiling, like he was trying not to laugh.
He was happy he was mad?
Yeah, he was happy he was mad. So she calls her parents, and he's looking at me like, ooh, I'm gonna kick your ass. Because my dad would always he would tell me, I'm gonna kick your ass when you get home from school. And so I had to think about it all day.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my dad was sitting, I remember we were sitting there, and he looks at me, looks at Jordan, looks at her, and he's like, and he knows what I did. He knows that I set it up. That way he'd have to let us go back down. So I remember she walks out the front door, and me and George just sitting there, and he's just staring at us. Okay? And then I get up to start walking out, and he grabs my arm and he goes, where are you going? I go, were going out front to wait with her and her parents. And her dad doesn't even give a shit. He was just trying to get a hold of her. He just wanted to make sure everything was all right. He didn't care where she was or if she spent the night with me at all. She told her dad, hey, I'm spending the night with Shane. And he didn't give a shit. Okay? And he's like, I'll wait with her. I'll wait with her. And he says it twice in a high-pitched voice. And he looks at me and goes, Shane, you go back down there tonight and you have fun with your friends. And tomorrow, you be up here early. And I'm like, swallowing, you know? And I go, okay. And I walk out the door, and Bridget's just sitting on the front porch, like, please don't leave me.
Poor girl.
And, like, she grabs my hand, I'm like, stop. You know what I mean? Grab my hand away. I'm like, don't touch me. We're walking, and George's like, oh my God, I can't believe what just happened. And it's pitch black out there in the country, okay? And then I see this triangular light split off as my dad opens a door. And the light cuts through the darkness as I'm walking through it, lighting this way. I look behind me, and my dad is leaning out the door on one leg, like upper half of his body parallel with the ground.
Like balancing with one leg back behind him.
And he goes, Shade? Early! And I go, oh shit. Anyways, to make a long story short,
Too late.
we're walking down and I hear fucking bloody murder screams.
Yeah.
So Jordan and I,
This is the best part of the story.
Yeah.
we walk into because we have an upper barn, we have a lower barn, and we have this big barrel with all our sticks inside that we use to play with, okay? We grab all these sticks out of the barrel, we run back down, like...
Because you hear screaming.
Yeah, we run back like a mile down in the woods. And Zach is standing on top of a fucking cooler. Like, in front of the fire, just screaming with sticks in his hands. I'm like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, there's coyotes and wolves out here, man, I see them. Start pissing everywhere. He pulled out his dick, start pissing, and we pull our dicks, just start pissing all the place. And, like making a circle of piss around us, thinking we're going to be safe in this imaginary piss circle.
It's like the ghost and you're laying salt around you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like thinking the smell is going to keep him away or something. And then I wake up the next morning. I remember I can't find my dad's police flashlight that he got that the chief gave him. Okay, that he loved his flashlight more than me. And he said this every single year on my birthday. Okay?
On your birthday.
He said it on my birthday. Eric knows about my birthdays.
When he says it, it sounds like a joke, and it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what's
I know.
funny about it.
And then I remember freaking out and go, oh my God. I start remembering everything that happened last night. And I go, fuck, I'm dead. All of a sudden, I look up and we're in this huge field, this hayfield. My dad is walking from like the other side of the field towards our tent. And I'm like, oh, he's going to rip my ass. He walks over and he goes, you got my flashlight? I look down. It's right there. I grab it and go, yeah, here you go. He's all right. Well, whenever you're ready, just come up and do your homework. Don't be out all day. I said, okay. And he never mentioned it again, ever, until I was 24 years old. And he asked me, so what the hell was going on? And he's like, were you fucking her? And I'm like, no. He's like, damn. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. So, I mean, I don't know how we got on that story. Like, we're talking about fucking titties I saw for the first time.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So,
Yeah.
Bridget, if you're listening, thank you.
Titties, school bus, homeschooling.
Yeah. It's been a crazy ride.
So-
Yeah, we have a lot of other stuff we need to do too. I think it's pretty good for a first podcast.
Yeah, it's not
right?
bad. We think that we're just going to be able to just turn this thing on and just talk like we usually would. And just, every once in a while we can have subjects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But pretty much it's whatever anybody else wants to hear. We'll just talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
I like
topics
the
and the format's going to be a little loose.
Yeah, very loose.
We'll probably figure out what we want to do exactly with it, but
I mean, the thing is like we'll sit here and have 4-hour conversations.
And we just won't record them. We'll
Yeah.
forget. And then afterwards we'll be all angry with ourselves.
Damn, that
like,
should've been a
dang,
podcast."
it should have been a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do that all the time.
Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in to Blind Wave's first podcast. We'll probably be doing these once a week.
Make sure you guys, if you don't know who we are, we're Blind Wave. We've got a YouTube channel. You guys can go check that out. All you gotta do is just search for Blind Wave. Luckily, that works itself out.
Hopefully we're on that list of top.
Yeah. Also, if you want to find us on Twitter, you can do that at BlindWaveProd. You can go to our Snapchat, which is blind_wave. Our email, blindwaveproductions@gmail.com. And man, there's so much that you can just check out. If you guys have never seen us before, definitely check out our YouTube channel. And we also have a Patreon account. This is actually, this podcast right here is part of, or the initial podcast of a reward.
One of our
thing,
goals,
right?
one of our goals on Patreon.
So thank you, patrons.
It opened up being able to actually start doing podcasts.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because like we just haven't had time, but that money has really helped us to be able to try to branch out and try to push.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
dedicate more time is the main thing.
and more content for you guys.
Yeah, so make sure if you guys want to, you can maybe either tweet or email us, and you can say what you liked about the podcast, what you didn't. We're not set in stone in terms of our format. So what did you guys think, and what should we change?
Yeah, for sure.
And possibly future topics that we can talk about.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
I'm Shane.
I'm Eric.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Calvin.
Calvin, hit the button.
We don't have no button.
We don't have a button. They wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
They can hear it, Calvin.
All right.